All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the country of the world you're watching me from. My name is Paul-Esupofo Oriade. I'm 1 minute late, yet I'm so sorry about that this morning. 1 minute or let me say a few seconds late, but it's okay. Lateness is lateness, so I have to apologize to you. I'm so sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. We are still on the book Dapo Adelugba on the theater practice in Nigeria. This is a valuable book I've ever come across. I won't deceive you on theater practice, how theater art department became what it is today, and it will amaze you, to surprise you, that this is a very wonderful thing. Don't go away, please go ahead. All right, so let's go. This morning I want the picture to be clean. If your picture is clean from your own end, please just say aye or give me a thumb up. Let me know. And I want to appreciate all of you. Yesterday we stopped at the very critical place yesterday, because I really want to read everything, a lot of things for us, but I felt, well, I need to stop. Though it was so like, I wanted to use a long time, but because where I was going yesterday was very amazing. It was a great beginning yesterday on Special Drama Film School, what Drama Film School filmmaking workshop yesterday, which was a very wonderful, very wonderful, very unique, and all that. That's what a very good thing at Salvation and Praise Interdenominational Chapel. Thank you very much. The leadership, the prophetess, the pastor is in charge, the pastorate. Thank you very much. The drama court. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the 17 other people. Oh wow, 17 people starting in. I would have been like 18 people really. There was a woman that joined. I would have said 18, but 17 really. I know that 17 were trained yesterday to join army, and yesterday we christened their name. Yesterday it was a very awesome thing. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you so much. And those people that have been showing interest in want to host us, you want to host us a special drama film making workshop, please, no problem, just invite us, just tell us, just inbox us and tell us, oh, these are the things we are working on, these are the things we want to have something on, and that would be a long time. Let's go to this book and let's continue the question. We stopped at theatrical book yesterday, the definitive theatrical book, and I think when I see, if I have opportunity to see or to come along with Professor Osofison, I'm going to ask him this book, if the book is out, all right? But if not, no problem. So it's a very wonderful thing. Let's go to the question we have this morning. Still on this end product, the integration of this concept into the curriculum, particularly in theater training institution, such as your department. When a student decides to be part of this vision and it chooses a particular topic, the topic must be very relevant. In any case, the child survivor and development, or women empowerment, is he the one to choose the community where he will want to carry out his assignment, or does he go about? Is it a group or as an individual? Is it as a group or as an individual? Bolarin Olakunle, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm so happy for you all the way from Ilorin. I know we'll be coming to Ilorin this year to organize a training too. We'll be coming to Ilorin also by the grace of God. Not also, I'm so sure I'll be coming to Ilorin this year by the grace of God. So sure about that. But we can work together. All right, let's get the response. The response say, well, one is open that with the introduction of theater for development idea into courses at the lower level, at the 100 and 200 levels, they would have had some exposure to theater for development in the course in drama and society at the 200 level, and introduction to theater practice course at the 100 level. We are hoping that is the introduction to theater art practice. Then we also have the theater for development, or the drama and society. All these things. Let me be sincere with you. I'm so much engineered by the grace of God. I'm so much empowered by the grace of God to tell the world that we have Christian drama, a Christian filmmaker that will transform the Nigeria industry, that will take over the Nollywood by the grace of God. We have the stuff. I can say it anyway. I'm not just bragging. I'm not just talking. I know we have people. We have faithful people. We have dedicated people. In fact, let me tell you something. Today, if I just make a call through today as I'm talking, if I say I need 200 people, within 2 hours, I'm going to have that 200 people. I'm telling you. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you, within 2 hours, I'm going to have that 200 people. Believers, Christians, who have the heart of God. That's the truth. So when we're talking about this thing, if you're talking about drama and society, don't be far away from the society. Don't be far away from people. Just make sure you get the wisdom about it. All right. So let's go on with this response of the Dapo Adelugba. So we hope we hope that with that kind of background, by the time the student come to the 4th year, they should have a rough idea as to which way they want to go. So far, we have not hamstrung our students in the choices of the community which they are to work, but to draw their attention. When they come up with communities that have been used often, to the advantage of trying out newer community, so that they would not be repeating what had already been done by earlier researchers in the more track beaten places. And that's one thing I've seen. And that's why when people are coming, oh, why is he coming to come and train us in Ilorin? What I'm going to teach in any country, in any state, in any city is not the same thing as somebody has already been teaching. And that is why we have our own style, we have our own curriculum. Now that's why we are giving sometimes we give the materials out to them, so that after we might have left, somebody was calling me. We were having a training 2 years ago in Kano. Now it's 2 years ago. So in Kano. And when we're in Kano, we gave them the material. And the person said, when you are teaching, you say something, because beyond what I've written down, I teach. And I had some things to the note. And they said, when you are teaching, you mentioned this, what can I go? I have to teach script writing in Kebbi State. Is it Kebbi State now? Yes, say I'm in Kebbi State. I want to teach the same thing that you have taught us. But you made mention of them. I have to openly, fast. I told him, this is what I've taught you, this is what I've to do that. So this is what this man is saying this morning, that they don't go to where they have, it's already done. Things are already done. So even if you are saying the same thing, it will surprise you that we're not going to be having the same aim. We're not going to be having the same pattern. We're not going to be having the same futuristic thing of how to do things and all that. So those are the things you have to look at critically and see for yourself dynamically. All right, let's go. Now, he said, so the idea is to leave each candidate free to choose our place for fieldwork. It is for them to indicate the kind of area where they wish to work. And UNICEF itself has marked certain area which they are interested in. And when there is coincidence between the student interest and the UNICEF interest, everything is pleased. All right, and those are the things, because sometimes people were after graduating from our school, we give them 6 months or 3 months, go and trade with what you have done, go and win soul, go and do this with souls and all that. And some they just go back to their shell. Some they go back to their works. Some go back to their work. Some they don't even remember they have ever come to any school at all because of situation and challenges of this world. And somebody say if they are called truly, they should not be distracted. Who says so? Who says so? Who says so? Why will you not be distracted? As long as you're in the world, you will be distracted. Even when they are doing the work, sometimes we get distracted. You know, yesterday I was to use 40 minutes and I look at the time and say, well, I can't get to that place. I was 9 minutes late. And if I'm to count the time of vehicle, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 vehicles or 4 means of transportation to that venue. And it's very, very inside. And I got there 9 minutes. In fact, I wouldn't have been late because I got there to like 10 minutes to before the time. 10 minutes before but between that Okada to inside took some times and all. I think it's about took about 9 minutes or thereabout to get there. Now, let's go. Your diploma student, have they any role in the project considering the fact that they are closer to the community that we are talking of? Yes, diploma students have a role. We are hoping that in the next 2 years, we shall witness the flowering of the theater for development ideas, even within the diploma program. But we have to start in a small way. Otherwise, one might end up with too much to do that will consume one. And that's one of the things we have avoided in SEDU. Because sometimes we have too much to do and people are consumed. And later we have to resolve to, if somebody is graduate, especially in our specialization, and we practicalized it last August, we discovered that if somebody is not, last 1 year, but last August we practicalized it more. If nobody is graduating in something, there is no need of teaching them what they are not graduating on. Because in the basic, they have the general knowledge. Do you remember? In basic, they have general knowledge. But in advance. We just let it advance on the area they want to stand on. We have given them general, we have given them opportunities so they'll be able to write, they'll be able to shoot, they'll be able to do a lot of things. That's some basic. But when they get to advance, you must focus on something. You must specialize. That's the word. So we have to start with those students at 300 level, and those who do well in the THA 332 are encouraged to choose for THA 450. That's 450. Long essay/project. Subject area in the broad theater for development area. So as for now, this year, we have turned out some 5 to 6 who choose their subject in the topical area of community theater. And as I said, the positive development is that UNICEF has, in its last 2 years, partly funded, not fully funded, this project. And we are hoping that they will do more of that in the near future. Okay. Please, in case you have not shared this video, please go ahead and share the video. Please go ahead and invite people. Okay, let's go. Do you envisage at all the department designing a diploma or certificate program that will solely attend to this aspect of the theater? And that's one of the things. In fact, I tell you right now, if they should not mistakenly, doing any courses that I think, if they should be doing any courses, I think you, if you're in field like that, even if it's a certificate program, please go and attend. Even if it's a diploma program, please go and attend. It will go a long way for you in your ministry. All right. So that will solely attend to the aspect of theater. I do not see any need to do that. I see theater for development as a means of achieving a bigger goal, and that goal include more than just theater. Otherwise, if we start to see theater for development in that over specialized manner, in that over specialized manner, then we will run the risk of the same criticism that was made of the earlier efforts, which is that it becomes art for their own sake. I do not think that an entire diploma program should be oriented around theater for development in that narrow sense. Another question. I thought perhaps that might take the burden off the department, such as when you have trained specialists. Now, of course, they go into the field. The man responded, the whole idea of theater for development is against that kind of over specialization. So that means you can over specialize. Do you get it now? Over specialization. The point is the community should make its own play, not that the facilitator should become prescriptive. Okay. Another question. If you are there, you are just joining, tell us the country, the state you're watching from. My name is Paul-Esupofo. Maybe this is your first time of coming. This is a special drama film school online, the first of its kind on Facebook Live, and it's been uploaded on YouTube. Maybe you're watching your own on YouTube right now. Don't forget, subscribe, and then you will be blessed with a lot of things we're doing here. And even on this page, you can go to the video section. You will see about 200 videos have been put in different with 100. You can watch. We have over 500 videos. By next month, I want to count how many videos we have so far. Right now, we'll be close to 1,000. We're going towards at least, I'm so sure of 600 already. I'm so sure of 600 videos. And that means if you are playing this thing every day, we can have it for 2 years. Can you imagine? If you are playing all the videos I've done every day, you can have it for 2 years, 365 days. All right, 365 days. If you have 365 days and I have a 600, that means I can play for 2 years every day. That's a very big one. So please let's sit up, and please let's invite other people. Share this video if you have not. All right, let's go. Let me make myself clear. You have a community. Excuse me. You have a community, then you expect them to create relevant dramas, and then these specialists could be part of the community, generating and raising the cast from within the community. And and the man responded, there will be no cast. There will be no cast. That is the whole point. The ultimate idea is that there is no such thing as a cast, because it is not art for art's sake. It is the community making its own play, not a set of people in the community being set aside. For instance, take Ilera Loro troupe, which you mission get trained. If all that happens in Ishayin is just Ilera Loro troupe, then TFD rather, theater for development, has not taken roots. So that is the real difference between the conventional theater and the TDF. So it's the people access, people doing it, so that they are part of the community. They are going to be living in the community, not that somebody is coming from somewhere to teach them from the community and all that. You get it now. So let's go to the next question. I'm looking at the situation where, as an expert, let's suppose I'm an expert in community theater and I'm a teacher in a secondary school in that community. Suppose there are certain basic issues that my community must know on women's empowerment or genital mutilation. Then I decide not to have a standing troupe, but to pick people from the community, rehearse with them, and then produce this particular drama emphasizing our chosen topicality. Then at another time, I pick a different topic entirely and then bring up some other set of people that are interested, groom them for another performance, a way of serving as a motivator, somebody within a community grown motivator, so to say. I mean somebody within the community who had some formal training in the basic of the community theater for effectiveness. I'm not saying that, like Jimmy, somebody will have a specialized troupe for such performances. Look at this response and listen very well. There is no doubt that, as I said, the spreading of sweetness and light is going to be a continuous process. We cannot stop anyone from setting up a troupe in the community. But I'm saying that it's not the central concept of TFD. The central concept of TFD is that kind of concern that is engulfed with the community, so that the playmaking and play acting process is part of their larger effort to improve their community, not for the art's sake. Do you get that point? That they are not just to be the professional. They are communicating their mind. They are communicating things. They can act up. They can do anything to just make sure that they are giving a kind of a tremendous change, a tremendous need, a tremendous thing that people say, "Wow, do we get it?" Now, another question. This kind of project is full of challenges, particularly with regard to your collaborating department hardly having enough time to move around to monitor the development so far. Do you have any structure in place that would, at a regular interval, involve the monitoring of the progress of the project over the years since 1998? Do you have any such structure in place? You know, when two brilliant and intelligent people are talking, if the student is in their midst, the student must write and write and write. So this is like the fight of the titans in their questions. And look at this awesome way of brilliant ways that late Professor Dapo Adelugba responded. He said, yes, of course. In fact, we are going to, as I said, embark on this when UNICEF itself felt that perhaps the emphasis should be on finding out what progress has been made so far, before moving on to that important phase. Until we do the evaluation of what we have done so far, until we monitor how our ideas are being used, we will not be in position to state whether what we are doing is as result oriented and meaningful as we would like to think it is. So we have structure in place. Of course, we are aware of the issue of the means of transportation. One of our aims in the next few months is to get a departmental vehicle which would then make it easy for us to travel around and assess what we have and assess what we have achieved so far, and maybe programs ourselves for the future. But one area where UNICEF is absolutely convinced is that it's going to continue to fund us is in the area of student project essays, because ultimately UNICEF itself has seen that this is the way to spread the idea around the communities. One of the things we are hoping to do, by the way, is to introduce the area of theater art development. Now, one of the things right now I'm talking, it just dawned on me that somebody is talking about to dig a well in Nigeria. As I'm talking right now, it just dawned on me that a place I have to go and do the well. A place, all right? I'm going to go to a place. A place just came to my mind to do the well, and that's a very good one, all right? That's a very, very good one for me, because if you have a place where there is no water and you want water, please, okay, let us talk together, all right, and tell me it's a benefit thing for your community, all right, and maybe at a token or whatever to do, it's going to be a benefit benefit to you. So let's go. As I was talking, I just saw that. All right, let's go. Now, one area where the UNICEF is really convinced is that, and they are very, very convinced about that. And the UNICEF have seen that this spread into one of the things we are hoping to do, by the way, is to introduce the idea of theater for development into general studies program. And that's one of the things, GNS, just have to understand when you are talking, when I'm talking about theater now in the coming session. That's why it's always good when you come over and over for a training school. Don't just come once and just forget about it. That's why people go back for masters. That's why people go back for PhD or MPhil before PhD, in theater, and you enjoy yourself. Then you become an associate professor, you become a full professor, then you become a professor emeritus, and you become a member of fellow, and you become something else, and you become an icon. You become, somebody's looking at me, sorry about that, but that's to become that. All right, into the general studies program, when we have tested out the preliminary books in our various tertiary institutions in Nigeria, perhaps we shall encourage the general studies directors all over the country to think of small injection of TFD into one course or another in their general study program, so that again is another important area of growth. So we do not see ourselves as the be all and end all of the TFD. All right, we see our project as, in essence, complementing what Abu Jos and other universities, Abu Jos and other university has initiated, each in its own way. Another question: the project so far carried out by students, how did the department go about the assessment? In the same way, we go about the assessment of projects from other areas of our discipline. We go about it, of course, by having the teacher of the course, Dr. Bamitale, who would invite one or two other experts to go and see what is being done in the localities. And as for the final project essay, it is marked by at least 2 members of staff in addition to the chief examiner. And as I said, it is exactly the same process as for the other areas of specialization, like media art or speech or rhetorical art or dramatic theory or criticism, just like any other area of emphasis in the department. All right, I believe you are enjoying this class little by little. I believe you are enjoying the class little by little. Okay, let's go to another question. What would you consider as the challenges, and if any, what were your coping strategies along the line in this kind of project, either in terms of rurality, in quote, lacking in basic amenities, potable water, electricity, general accessibility, coupled with the response or lack of it on the part of members of the target audience or target community, especially when you say no internet? All right, let me say that the man responded. So let me say that we were very lucky to have had sympathetic officer among our UNICEF collaborators who were sensitive to what we call the coping strategies. They always had enough medicated bottled water, realizing that one very quick way to be infected by waterborne disease is to drink water that is impure. In all 5 workshops so far, we have been lucky to have had a lot of cooperation from the community where we had been. For instance, in Bichi, where I represented the department, the chairman of the local government had made facility available for us, made beds available in the local government headquarters suites, and members of the community were willing to share ideas and bed space with us, and they share the facility of their homes with us. So I would say that in the 5 workshops, so far, we have been lucky. Of course, in terms of transportation, we have always had cars that were prepared well in advance, so that the risk of the road accident or road mishaps were reduced to the very minimum. Okay, very minimum. We made sure that all the vehicles that are used were thoroughly serviced long before we went into the location. And those are the things you have to cross. Even if you are the owner of the car, you just have to cross check. Okay, this one working, is that one working? Check this, check that, and all that. Just like yesterday, I went to location recce, and I was in that junction. I was looking at, if you are coming, what of the noise? How do we do it? Okay, if this person is sitting this way, okay, this one is more comfortable. This is more like a picture what we have. Okay, how do we do this? How do we take this lens? Okay, let's take the 3 lenses. Let's get the bag. Let's do the okay. Let's do telephoto lens. If he's seated there and we'll be able to talk, we'll be able to get what he's saying. You know, okay, how do we going to say something and we're going to grab his voice? You know, it's a whole lot of things. It's a whole lot of things, but thank God we're able to do all those things. Preparation is very, very key. All right, let's go to the next word. Okay, and after this one, I will take few short questions. Then I will stop. I will take few very short questions, very, very short questions, and I will stop. Like I told you, I don't want to rush it so that people can also watch and people can also enjoy, people can also listen, people can also be enjoying it and all that. And especially for my people in Nigeria, because they need this one more, and that's why I'm intentionally not making it too long, and so that they can enjoy the data and all that. So let's go to the next question. What will you consider the challenges? Okay, I've answered that. Sorry. What was the response? Was the response the same in the different zones? Not the UNICEF officials, not the local government chairman or auditor. I mean the community itself that are directly involved. Was the response the same? Encouraging, welcoming? This is very important because there is at times the tendency that your presence in the community might bring suspicion, which could delay a team from settling down in time. Consequently, missions and message might take some time to sink into the mind of the suspicious community members. Any such experience? The man responded, as I said, because the methodology was such to ensure success, we never at any stage just plunge ourselves into a community. We always had advanced team going to the community, to the local head, to the chairman of council, so that they always expected us more or less before we got there. And that's the system. In fact, even when we were in Monzani Institute, we were told that advanced mission team, MAT or something, the advanced mission team or mission team, you know, you go like that, and the advanced team and you go like that, and you understand. Mission advanced team. You don't look at it. People will go ahead of time, make an inquiry. You don't just go to the community and say, okay, I brought the plumber, I brought this one. And they will just look at you. Maybe they will kill you or forget about you. You understand? But if you're in Christ, you don't need to be afraid of those ones. All right. Before our arrival, they knew clearly that we were coming. We are coming. They are just to discuss with and to help their community, at least to explain the ideas, as we are guided by the golden rules of never being unduly prescriptive, and this is why the TFD is so important. The TFD facilitator would not go in community to prescribe, rather it is to share ideas and help the community build its own place. Once you start with the basic understanding, then of course it will be very easy to know what that is, to reach a community and to exchange ideas. Take a bit of energy and a bit of time. And as I said, the deficient area so far is in the revisit to the 5 community, which we are yet to do. Okay, we are yet to do. Let's go to another short question. But isn't that long overdue for a project which began way back in 1998? Well, it is overdue, but there are issues of funding. Question: what bothers me now is the fact that, thank God, UNICEF took the initiative. Cotton, Baba. Not thank God UNICEF took the in quote. Not thank God UNICEF took the initiative. That would not be correct at all. Okay, the question for the funding, I mean, of course, thank God it was the Theatre Art Department in Ibadan University that catalyzed the whole process of in community theater and community grown theater. Sorry about that. If that is the way you want me to spell it out, we started the Child Survivor and Women Empowerment Slants. That's the Professor Adelugba. Theater for Development had been part and parcel of the Abu Zaria program since 1975. Cotton, Professor O.DASYLVA. What I'm saying is concerning the funding. Supposing tomorrow UNICEF feels that, well, there are other priorities, and then decide to withdraw from this same. And Professor Adelugba said, are you ready for it? Are you ready? We are thoroughly prepared for that. In fact, we are operating as if UNICEF has withdrawn. 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 Okay? Cotton. But you can't continue without proper funding, or you make a mockery of the whole exercise. Can you? Besides, you have just complained about funding. The man responded, we can continue. We can continue theater for development, but by its very nature, is meant to be built by the society. It is not meant to be externally funded. Cotton. But there might still be need, even for assistance, no matter how little, to cope with the logistics, etc. I want to believe that you still need some funding assistance. Wow. Some funding assistance. That funding, man responded, that funding should be part and parcel of the Bamitale project. Another question. In a country as ours, where universities are underfunded, where university education is not a priority of the government and the citizenry at large. Response. That is the headache of the department that is proposing it. We have been running the project for some 6 years. The funding of the essay had only happened in the last 2 years. What about initial 4 years? How did they fund the program in those years? In the same way as the project for the dramatic literature specialist, the speech specialist, the dance specialist are funded. So what has happened in the last 2 years is indeed a bonus. Okay? How will you have funded these proposed 3 books resulting from the project? The book that your team is developing for the purpose of promoting cultural awareness in the direction of the project. There will be no problem with funding them. What is needed now is to complete the pictorial aspect. Cutting sponsors? No, there is no sponsor. UNICEF and the department are going to fund the production of the copies. So we are not looking out for new funders. Question. So it is not out of place to say thank God for UNICEF then? The man responded, I think it is out of place because we initiated this. To say thank God for the UNICEF will be missing the point totally. In fact, at the very starting point with Bertoloi Werite, there was an understanding that this is a Department of Theatre at University of Ibadan project, which is being assisted by UNICEF. And Bertoloi Werite himself insisted that as an intrinsic part of the TFC project, the modality be worked out in such a way that you are not waiting for UNICEF, you're not waiting for UNESCO, you're not waiting for UNICEF, UNICEF, or some other bodies, UNO, or whatever, to carry the responsibility. That is the understanding on which the assistance of UNICEF was based. You see the conflict of who takes the glory there. All right, you saw it. Okay, good. Let me take one last question this morning. Sorry about that. One last question this morning. What do you really have to suggest to other such similar bodies that could be of assistance to our university or research institute to bring out a kind of realization of this kind of project for the betterment of the community and the nation in general? And that's why I'm going to be stopping this morning. I think we have to wait and see how the works that we have produced are being used, and then further advice will be based on that experience. I think to advise in the abstract now may be premature. So I will say, let us see how the work we have done so far has fared, and then we can move forward from there. That's what I have this morning from there. And that's where I'm stopping this morning by the grace of God. Let me quickly share something for you, with what I've just read. One of the things I've just read, I discovered that get yourself prepared. Now you tell me you don't have fund, but If I'm to give you fund, will you have something you want to use the fund for, or you're going to be thinking after I give you fund? Right now, behave as if you have the fund. Behave as if the fund is given to you. Behave as if nothing will take the fund away from you. Behave that the money is just like one of the things I have said. Maybe I will do that one this morning. What will you do differently? Maybe let me repeat it again. What will you do differently if money is not your problem? These are the questions I asked my brethren some time ago. What will you do differently if money is not your problem? If resources is not your problem? What will you do differently? What exactly do you want to do? So you have to look at yourself in the department, whatever department, all that, the limited Theatre for Development. You have to look at it. What can I do differently? Okay, this community has been rich, but what area of that community is not rich? You go there, you listen. There is a voice pops. Voice pops. We talk about in media, in journalism. Do you listen to the voice of the people? That's the voice of the people. Listen to them. Look at what they are doing. You can get at a particular place. They have been deficient. Then you can go to that place and do a carve out. Deliberately, you will do it for the whole town, but you go to that carved out for them to benefit. You have counted all of them and say, how many of you? 20. Okay, how many of you? 15. So when you are giving your gift, the first set of 15 you give to, then you now give to other communities. That's it. Well, we have come to this place, so because they didn't get the something, are you other people not getting it? They say they got it, and that's it. And that's it. Thank you this morning. I want to appreciate you. Monday through Friday is 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time. Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. respectively Nigeria time. And the good news is this. Let me quickly tell you. The good news is that tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow is Saturday, and we're having that part 2 of brilliance versus intelligence. So get ready. By today, I will start publicizing it more so that people can know about the part 2. We work part 2 tomorrow, so that 9:30 a.m. 9:30 p.m. Nigeria time. And on Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Nigeria time, respectively. Tomorrow is a question and answer. You can also ask the question. You can also contribute on Skype and all that. Call the number, and it's going to be awesome. Thank you very much. The Lord bless you. Do have a wonderful time. Whatever you have, do have a wonderful time. Whatever God has given to you, do have a wonderful time. Stay with Him and get the result. God bless you.